Draft Season Podcast. We are live. What is this episode? Yo, it's funny, Raz. Usually most shows do like an episode count. I have no idea what episode.
I'm just happy to be here, bro.
We
I don't. I'm not. I'm not
in the
counting
building.
shit right now.
Amen.
We
But
in the building. Draft Season Podcast. We in here we celebrating Black History Month. And it's always a blast. Always a pleasure to link up with my favorite people. My favorite creatives that doing all types of things in their different industries. So we definitely had to send the signal out, get my homies on the show today. Joining us on today's show is my man. He needs no introduction, but we're gonna give him a great one anyway. My brother Greg Betty, you might know him. As he does call it, your favorite design artist reference, and all the above, the owner of WavyBaby NYC, on the Kith design team as well. My brother Greg, what's good, man? Sorry,
My guy.
sorry for waiting too long to bring you on the show, but so glad to have you, my brother.
It's all good, man. I appreciate the love, man. I needed to be on this. I told you from a minute ago, bro. I needed to be on this. So I'm happy. I'm extremely blessed to be here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So we know my guy Greg, one of the youngest out here running, doing this thing in the whole fashion world. So we're gonna get into that, have a great conversation about being black in fashion design and all that other stuff. And also joining us on today's show, we got my brother Dante. You know what I'm saying? One of the most talented artists that I know. I'm one of the best in this whole independent. If you need any new, NYC artists to check out, you definitely should have this guy Dante on his radar. Dropped a new project, Hate the Game, a couple months ago. Dante, what's good, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. No complaints, man. Happy to be here, man. 2020's past. I'm moving forward, trying to strive.
Like I said, yeah, man. So we had to send the link out to a couple of the most talented dudes I know, and also we have to introduce my guy Raz. Raz, what's going on, my brother?
man, it's fucking Thursday, bro. I thought it was Wednesday, so that's just an indication on the type of week I'm having. But we here to talk shit. This is the Draft Season Podcast, as we mentioned before. I usually lead us off, so I'm gonna let y'all know where I'm coming live from, Queens, as I often do. I'm happy we got the guys here. So yeah, let's jump right into it, man.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. So it's just like, yeah, it's a snowy ass Thursday in New York City, but it's always good to have these motivational talks and to get your mind and your soul right for the rest of the year. It's still first quarter, so we did need to get everything ready. But yeah, man, as you know, as creative, it's always a great way to just start here. And I guess we'll start with you, Greg. But just in terms of how has the pandemic affected your day to day like create and this is why we wanted to have this conversation, especially to talk about life as a creative, and some days always better than the others, but it's always good to stay focused and catching that flow, whether it's like writer's block, whatever. But how's the pandemic treated your creative juices and just staying on track with everything that you do?
Man, this pandemic completely fucked me up. I'm not gonna hold you. It just shifted my whole perception of what's important, Like my day to day completely changed, but I think the most important thing as a creative is just being able to adapt. You feel me? So like adapting to the pandemic has been, my way of like expressing creativity. You feel me? Like just the walks to the grocery store, or like finding new things in my apartment, new documentaries to watch, like all these different things that like I didn't necessarily pay attention to when the world was active. Now that shit slowed down a bit, you just take things in a bit differently. You just appreciate life in general. So yeah, I think life has just been my biggest inspiration right now, man.
Yeah, what about you, Jay?
I mean, it's piggyback of what he said. I definitely had to adapt differently because most of us, we was outside, bro. We was outside on the move continuously, find the vibes, whether it was inside or outside, but we was moving. So for me, I had to get my organization all the way together. Like I'm a very on the fly type of person, and like I was always continuously moving. But this shit halted me in a way that I was like, all right, well, I got to worry about my health even more now. I got to watch what I eat now, because now I'm so conscious of it, because now I'm in a continuous basis of like my schedule. And just grown up shit, just getting older and older and realizing the importance of just being organized all together, going to the gym way more. I used to pick up games here and there, a couple push-ups. Now nigga, gotta go to the gym to keep my focus.
Yep.
So it was just a bunch of random things that came quicker than I expected, but you know, it made me better at the end of the day because you know I'm just adapt, get better, get stronger, get smarter.
Yeah. And niggas know, like, me and Tay, we always run around together, you feel me? So, like, my struggles is his struggles. Like, we
100%.
both had to find different ways to adapt because we was both outside, like, heavy.
Going through it.
Yeah, man, nah, that's what like, and it's so crazy, especially even Dante, because you guys used to do the DJing stuff and everything with Coliseum Records. You guys would be out every week, moving around the city, hitting different events. So I mean, that's always a great place to talk about, especially COVID. Like that's one of the things I think about a lot, especially that whole New York City like party life, party scene, DJing and everything. And I mean, since we're here already, it's always, appreciating people who actually know how to touch a crowd. So I guess Dante, we can line you up on this one, especially like when you talk about DJing a crowd full of people who came to who out to have a great night, you know what I'm saying? And you like you said about taking those nights for granted. Whenever we do get back to whatever normalcy, not gonna take those nights for granted, going out, being around beautiful people, being around good music and all that stuff. So talking about Dante, like when you talk about signs to how to read a room while you're DJing, was one key that you would say to that, and overall, just about how the New York City, party life is going to be like, or just what do you guys the future of it? I would guess because it might never be the same, to be honest. But it's such a special scene. But yeah,
I'll say like when I first started with Coliseum with the guys and stuff back then, I used to personally look at a group that represented who I was, and I made sure they was enjoying themselves first. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, we all got a good sense of music in general, especially this group. Everybody were young A&Rs before niggas started doing it on the internet. Like, we knew the music that hit, that made people feel. So back then, it was more about just like keeping the groove while also hitting them with something they didn't expect. So you can transition in some shit that no one was expecting, from one side of Pharrell to like going into Sean Paul, and people our generation specifically, you'd be like, damn, how does nigga do that? Like, it should make no sense. But you do that to keep the energy alive and shit. As far as after this, I don't know, man, because one of the places that had a lot of representation as far as where I was like in Brooklyn, I didn't like the LES because too many dress codes, too many anti-black on the low type shit. But as far as Williamsburg, Kinfolk was a spot that people of color met. Even if it was the spot or it was like the background, like plan B, if shit don't work out, you always knew you was gonna see somebody you knew of color, and you knew that you was gonna have one of your mans DJing. Now, especially in Brooklyn, I don't know where that's gonna be, bro. Like, we had SNS too. SNS was cool, but the amount of people that's packed in SNS, that's a COVID nightmare. So it's just like, it's definitely not gonna be the same. But we're New York, and we know how to keep energy the way we keep energy. We gotta thug it out because it's a different storm now.
I mean, I'm gonna jump in right now because I'm top hater. So I'm glad that Kinfolk is dead. I know that hurts. I know that hurts a lot of y'all. But that place was awful, bro. I mean, just with the bouncers, nigga, you need 45 Johns to get in. You pull up with you and your mans. You pull up. You could be with you and just your mans. You was not getting into that shit.
Nah, man, you need it to be valid, bro. Like one thing I made sure I was valid at Kinfolk. Like I knew the bouncers. I knew the niggas in the bar. I knew the DJs. I was like, yo, like my man's DJing. Like my man, like that's I could wave to the nigga, like let me in. And all my niggas behind me getting into it. Let's go.
That's the only way, because the bouncers was really fronting on you, bro. Niggas would look you in your eyes and not give a fuck, bro. Like, I remember the beginning times before we was really like linking up with people and knew how to get in there. That shit was nasty, man. I had to go across to the taco truck and figure out a plan and shit. Like,
taco truck bro, is a part of all the Kinfolk shenanigans, for being real. It never moved.
Yeah, man, but I definitely agree with Raz in that sense, because that shit was nasty. Even on 94, ironically, where the party was at the end of it, there was no way you was getting in there. The right side, you got lucky. But out of that space, like, Shemansky was cool, but I never went to Shemansky. That was a whole nother vibe. But
I'm also here to say fuck Shemansky too, honestly.
Right.
But it's not. But I'm not. But not from a logistic standpoint. Like, it was just more so like them niggas kept spamming my inbox. Like, yo, we got a party this week. We got a party this week. We got a party this week. They let you in as long as you was paying. They let you in. So I'll give them that. Like they wasn't fronting at the door.
Yeah, I feel that 100%.
No, man, but I think even moving on a little bit, and I think we could move this to you a little bit, Greg. Because yeah, man. So I know you've been pushing the WavyBaby brand for some time, and now that you've gotten some like opportunity to work with other like actual more established brands, what's some of the lessons that you've taken from your 10 Deep Kith days, that you brought to actually WavyBaby stuff for the future that you guys put into works?
Man, it's a lot of just trial and tribulation, bro. Like a lot of ideas that I didn't think were good enough for 10 Deep or Kith. I would try to transition it into my own shit and just build a catalog, build a repertoire. So like when I eventually do leave these places, and all the people that I've met and mingled with across the years, they could like look at my brand and be like, oh, like that's that same dude. Like I could see the aesthetic, like everything just aligns. So I just been trying to get that language down pat. And I think that's like the most important thing for a creator to have is just that authentic language, bro. Because
I think
you could
yeah, go ahead,
be doing, you could be doing like the same thing as another dude, but like you could just be doing it more authentically than him, and that's what just gravitates, the crowd to you. So that's what I've been trying to work on.
What do you think is one of the like more underrated things about like the whole fashion design teams that go into making, whether it's like it could be a spring like 2021 design, and if people don't know, it's just like I know a lot of those stuff. It's probably in the books, probably like a year and a half, maybe that you're scheduling stuff to
Yeah,
come out.
bro.
What's one thing that people who don't work in fashion or merch drops they might not be aware of that's like a complete like pain in the ass to prep?
Bro, there's a lot of shit that niggas don't know, man. Like, yo, you're right. Like, things are done a year plus in advance, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be done with the collection and I won't even think about it. I'll be like, oh, this comes out now. And a lot of times, too, like, people don't understand, like, brands don't really talk to each other, So we all have kind of like the same source of like inspiration, the fucking internet. You need to find other sources of inspiration outside the internet because all these brands out there doing the same thing, you know references cross and things drop at the same time, and you would think like, oh, y'all just biting off of so and so, like they just did that. Nah, bro, we both did it a year ago and it just happened to come out at the same time. So you know that's been like a big challenge just in the fashion industry alone. Like I remember I was at 10 Deep and I did something with like a Public Enemy flip, and then a week
Yeah,
later
I know exactly
Supreme
what
did
you're
a
talking about.
Public
Yeah,
Enemy collab. And I was
yeah.
like, damn, bro, you would think that we was best friends. Like we talked about dropping it together. Nah, man, it was just luck of the draw. So yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
like
even staying
always happening.
there for even staying there for a sec, I think. Can you talk about what? Yeah, you've done some of like. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like, I mean, going to what was it, the Looney Tunes shirt that Bron rocked? Like, it's got to be insane. What's the feeling like when you see somebody like LeBron rocking like the Looney Tunes Kith design that you worked on? Like, that's got to be an insane feeling, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm still not over it when like I see big celebs or just people that you really hold in a high reference, like rock shit that you designed, man. Like I think that's what keeps me going as a designer too. I feel like even with Dante, like when he sees his music on a billboard, like top artist and his play, and they're like dropping a best of NYC playlist, and you see
Yeah,
Dante, like, hey, you see
on
that,
there.
like, anytime you get some sort of recognition as a creative, it's always a great feeling, man. Like, that's what we do it for. We do it for the love. We do it for the recognition. The money is definitely a factor, but like when the people love it, man, you just keep going.
Hell yeah. I think definitely to piggyback off of that is that what he's saying is that mainly what pushes me through this shit is like representation. So to see a nigga like Greg, who's from where I'm from, creating and then putting the same thoughts, feelings, and things we went through, probably through Valley Stream, and then communicating it through his designs. To see Braun wearing it, I'm like, damn, Raz Nova used to be hoopers. So just to see that, I'm like, damn, like my man's who don't even play no sport besides soccer back in out here designing this and on a basketball player and on this rapper or this, and I'm like, this shit is crazy. And representation, and I think showing people that you can do it is probably bigger than the process of actually doing it. It's weird to say that, but getting things done in the process and then people watching it improves the world. True. So yeah, improves the world, because there's a kid who never thought he can design and see Greg Betty do that shit. Oh, I'm about to get on Photoshop right now. Like some kid in Valley Stream who probably could rap just saw my shit and be like, this nigga not that nice. I'm about to go on there. It's just the representation of seeing other people do something is what engages other people to go harder. So definitely kudos.
Especially when you're not really like plugged in like that. Like, yo, we just some dudes from Valley Stream, man. Like, and we just set our head to the goal, bro, and we just, kept it striving that way. It's not like, niggas put us on in any type of way, bro. Like, nah, like Sean, you seen me from the beginning. Like Dante seen me from the beginning, bro. So it's an even better feeling when you know somebody who is right next to you in the same classroom as you at the same party as you is doing like huge things too. That's a great
I think even staying there for a moment, because I feel like that point right there is people just want to see like the finished product of it. But and for both of you guys, we talk about it, like we said it earlier when we talked about having an idea is one thing, but getting the execution right is probably 10 times more important than the great idea. A lot of people have great ideas, but when they actually put into execution, they can't get the job right. They're not getting the recipe, all of the sauce, the ingredients that they need. They can get that down right. So I mean, even talking that to you guys for a little bit, and even I feel like there's a sense of, and I don't want to say it's not survivor's remorse at all, wrong concept. But when we talk about getting into these rooms where it's not a lot of people who look like us, and I would say it's sort of like a pressure to be excellent. It's a pressure to succeed, particularly when you have a plan like this that you've been putting into the road. So when it comes down to keeping yourself motivated, how would you guys say that? And like I said, when you get like Greg just said, when you start getting that. You get a little acclaim and you see some of the success working for you. It honestly makes the work come to you guys a lot better. But when it's those dark days and you're not seeing the results you want to see, how do you guys do that to keep going, keep being motivated to know that you guys are on the right path? How do you guys, kind of steer through those dark days for you guys?
I say for me, I mean, music is a language, it's a conversation. So when I feel personally like I can have a song that's not hitting, but that could be perspective. You feel me? For example, I dropped Hate the Game in November, and Charge It was the last song on it. And Charge It is a song that's typically people don't expect me to rap. Mind you, that's how I started rapping. So rapping like that, you got my eyes closed. And that was one of my favorite songs because I was actually impressed how I did that. And looking at the streaming numbers, I think like the song that had the drill type beat or whatever, people had that number going crazy compared to Charge It. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, let me fix this. And the only way I fixed it was doing what I did on that whole little tweet thing. And I think the whole thing about that type of adversity is you just got to keep on fine tuning the conversation and the language so everybody's on board with you, because someone can kind of understand and that's it. But if someone truly understands and embraces you and empathizes with you, that's when people really, fully like engage with you. So I think that's what it is. You just got to figure out how to just fine tune the communication. That's what keeps me going and understanding. I know I have a goal, and I know that goal is not something anybody can bring to me or hand to me. That's something I have to create for myself, for other people to believe, then to maybe later hand to me or probably like collab with me. But that's how I.
And I think even staying there for a moment, Tay, because I think that's a great idea, and we was kind of talking about it earlier, because especially when you get into having taking that respect for your own product and putting it to the line. What was it for you when you're talking about finding the right partnership for whether it's a label, whether it's the people that you're working with? What's the things that are important for you to that matter for you, whether it's, you know, just making sure you guys are on the same page,
Yeah.
you know, for whatever it is. But what's the most important characteristics for you when you're looking for, whether it's a deal or features or just people that you want in your circle in general?
I gotta first make sure these are like-minded people in front of me. Just because I don't want anything to be tainted. I would never want to be a part of something that I'm kind of about, because if I'm kind of about it, I'm gonna have some remorse when it's all over, or something can get fucked up in the midst of it, and then I look crazy because I signed off to it. I jumped into the pool of water and gonna have to swim. Whatever you jumped in, you got to swim in that bitch. So I want to make sure I'm comfortable in a situation where someone's like-minded. Transparency is there. I don't want to veil over my eyes. I don't want you to give me this pretty picture when it's not really that. I really want people to be accountable. Like, it's just a bunch of things that I aspire or make sure that I drive within myself. So, you know, especially with like United Masters, when I met them, they called me in. They were just like, yo, pull up, let's chop it up. And once I did that, played my music for them. I think this was for when Heat Check came out. He's like, dope, whatever you need. If you need whatever 6ix9ine does when he goes in the studio and does that little video, if you need that, we got you. It was just a bunch of things that, like, it was love. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing. I just need love in the circle too, because then that's how I know you're fully engaged and you're really about to do this with me. You're not doing it because your name's attached to it. That's the biggest thing. Like that's probably the most important thing to me. For real.
Nah, so I mean, like y'all saying, like y'all a bunch of creatives that made it from Valley Stream, and you know that's really big in y'all. That's everything. That's in everything that y'all do. Realistically, y'all embody that, and to see y'all come this far, you know, from where we were, I think that's dope. But I mean, just like a few questions for y'all. Like I want to know what made y'all take the initial leap. You know, like how did y'all start getting involved in, like, obviously y'all had hobbies, y'all had things that y'all were doing coming up, but how did y'all decide, like, all right, fuck it, like this is where I need my career to go, this is my life path, this is what I want to do?
You want to take this one, Greg? Let me go first, brother.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I think it was just having a support system, even if it was just one or two people. Just the support system just kept you going, you know, like anything you do creatively, especially as a Black person, especially as a Caribbean person, you know that, you know, money is a big factor, and like your parents are like, yo, if you're not making money on this, like it's just a hobby. So you got to figure out, all right, how can I make this hobby turn into, you know, bread? And just that pursuit of being creative and also making bread and also making your parents feel happy. Like, it's just a thrill, you feel me? At least for me, you know. And when I saw, like, I was able to find a good balance of, you know, making my hobby uh, pay my bills, my parents were happy, I was happy, you know, and then my niggas are supporting me. Like, it all just went hand in hand, I feel like.
Personally, for me, I think my leap was based on I was playing ball for the most part. So I was playing ball in college briefly. I was fucking up my grades in my first school, so I had to go to Nassau. Went to Nassau, saw the opportunity. A lot of my homies from Central, they was playing there, and it was like, yo, you good? Like, go to export, see people playing the export scene. Oh, I'm trying now. I'm like, okay, this ain't nothing. Like, I can make the team. Couldn't because of where I was working. So then I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to continue this bullshit. Got to my third school. In the process of going to the third school, playing ball in pro leagues, I broke my jaw one year. And then the following year, I shattered my nose and had to get plastic surgery. So I could no longer play ball because my mother was no longer letting me play ball because I was just getting into, like, intense ass situations. Because
you just don't have to rock the Rip Hamilton mask, bro.
I wanted to so bad, but I just didn't play ball for like a calm 2 years. Like I had to get reconstructive plastic surgery. So that kind of messed me up. And in the process, it's so funny. Greg was there because that's when I was kind of wanting to rap for real. But around that time, I couldn't breathe properly to rap, so I couldn't actually drop that project. And then I had the remorse because I was just like, damn, am I gonna end up like that one uncle in the black community we all know, like, yo, I was nice, you know what I mean? I could, and I didn't want to be that guy. That's a weird thing to do. So eventually, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do this DJ shit. And like I was saying in a past interview, they was just like, yo, you can rap, and I was just doing that because of our close friend Akil was the rapper. He was the rapper of the group, and I got all the equipment just for him in my room, recording it up. Kind of get my little stabs at it because we was having fun before we go work out. We listen to
bro. I was rapping a little bit too. Don't forget that.
He was a rapper
I was
too,
rapping
bro.
first.
He was rapping with me. This nigga was rapping with me. That's how I met Greg. He was rapping with me, so that's the funniest part about it. But then there was just one point where I was just told, like, just rap, just do it. And you know, like, not especially in the black community within a household, that's some weird shit to even tell your parents, like, yo, I'm a rap. You know what I'm saying? That's not the
you on your own with that one.
You're on your own because, like, especially when it comes to people of color, like, they want to see, like, money come into the house. They want to see that you can take care of yourself outside of that, and naturally it's a one in a million type of thing. It's just like the NBA. Difference is this isn't the 90s where you had to bring your tape to somebody. Hopefully they hear it and hopefully they get it. I think, very much aware we were in the internet part of the world where I can control that. I can drop some shit and possibly change shit. So that's what made me do the leap, because I was like, well, if I can control this whole situation by myself, then the only person who I can be upset at if this doesn't work out is myself. So that's what really pushed the leap, for real.
In fact, I think even going into you, Greg, I would be interested in what your opinion is on this. When you're looking at whether it's like high quality, like streetwear brands, fashion brands, what do you think of some of like the characteristics that really, you know, these, or what really separates these brands from each other, whether it's like quality, you know, design? What's some of the things that you're looking at when you're talking about the quality of other brands that you think really separates them from whether it's a average brand to like a great brand that you guys need to be copying or whatever, or paying attention to?
I think it's all about authenticity for me. You know, like, that's the number one thing I look at. I could look at a brand and be like, they have no clue what they're talking about, or like, you know, they're just selling clothes to sell clothes. You feel me? Like, I'm really tied into like the story, you know, like how the clothes drapes, how the clothes looks, the graphics that they use. Like, you know, sometimes brands with just no graphics are sometimes the best ones, just because the clothes fit a certain way, or they're for a certain person. You know, I'm really into things that aren't for everybody. That's just my whole MO, you know. And I try to you know, put that shit in my designs too. It's like, it's not gonna be for everybody, but you know, the niggas who get it, they gonna love that shit.
That's what it's about, 100%. That's the same way with my music, bro.
Nah, man. Yeah, nah, absolutely. So I think even going on to the next topic, and I put this on the rundown because I feel like it's a great point to actually talk about this, man. And this because me and Greg, and Greg as somebody who, you know, we grew up, you know, in these days, and we used to, you know, go back and forth with the music we were listening to, so we can actually have this conversation where a lot of people, when we're talking about obviously Mr. or whatever, Mr. Kardashian, whatever you want to call Kanye now or whatever. But yeah, so I'd be interested, especially in you, Raz, where it's just like, you know, I do think the man went off the deep end a while ago, but I feel like when we talk about history, it's gonna be the point of contention about when he went off the deep end is gonna be the interesting part. Because, you know, I mean, some people gonna say, you know, Life of Pablo, but I actually do feel like if you ask a couple different Kanye fans or people who were into that guy before, you know, he lost his mind, they would give you different answers. So I mean, I guess we can start with you, Greg. But when we talk about Kanye, who is still you really can't take away from that man's music and what he gave us in the past. How we talk about him in the future is going to be the variable. So we haven't even had this conversation in a minute. So I'll be interested to say, where do you land on this, and just your general thoughts about, you know, whether it's the past like 4 or 5 years of Mr. West?
Oh man,
Listen, man, this ain't the same nigga who made Last Call, bro. This ain't the same nigga, man.
Nope.
I'll tell you, man. I feel like Yeezus was it for me, but it's not. But it's not the music in Yeezus. It's the lyrics, bro. You listening to Kanye's lyrics in Yeezus? You listen to the lyrics, nigga?
Yo,
That nigga was talking about eating ass. Like what? I was like, nah, bro. I'm 17 years old. Nigga talking about eating ass, and then he got Chief Keef on the next song. Like, it was weird, bro. I don't know. It's kind of funny because it's like I fuck with Kim more than I fuck with Kanye now. Like, shit's kind of weird.
she more thorough. She be more thorough than him. That's the sad part.
Kim is a.
Oh man, this man Greg lagged out. You don't have to get him back. But Raz, what do you think, or what would your answer be on that before we get Dante's opinion?
I mean, for me, it was Yeezus, right? Because what came out first, Cruel Summer or Yeezus?
Cruel Summer did.
Yeah,
Okay, so
drop first.
So it was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which we can all agree, which was very fire.
Yeah.
And then Cruel Summer came out, and I'm like, it had Click on it, and I'm like, all right, got some commercial shit, but like everything wasn't really curated how a normal Kanye album would be. And then Yeezus came out, right? So I bumped the Yeezus. Now I will say I got to it second because it did, I'm gonna drop the same day as Kanye. This came out the same day as Born Sinner, I believe.
Yep.
So obviously I dove into the Born Sinner first. Everyone knows that. So then I jumped into Yeezus, and I couldn't get through it. Like I don't even remember what number Blood on the Leaves is, but I got to Blood on the Leaves, and I'm like, all right. The song is like the production was cool, but I'm like, where's this going, right? Like, so I paused, I came back to the album, then I went on the timeline. Everybody, yo, that Yeezus shit is fire. So now I'm feeling like I'm getting punked because I'm getting this tweet off.
A lot of lies were told. I know exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of
bro.
That was a rough day.
I was hitting the timeline, niggas like, yo, that Yeezus shit fire. And then niggas like, yeah, it's better than Born Sinner. So the cynic in me is like, all right, nah, clearly I'm bugging out. Like I'm far left clearly because I'm like, clearly Born Sinner is the better album. And then niggas like, nah, bro, this Yeezus shit. So then after that, a little bit of the Cole fandom made me bury Kanye, which is tough. But it's not something I had to regret. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, damn, I rode with my guy. And it wasn't like when fucking Kanye beat 50, right?
Yeah.
If 50 wins that out that battle or whatever, life is a lot different, than it is right now. If what was it? Graduation versus what?
Massacre.
This is
Massacre?
Chris Curtis. This is low-key facts. The world would be completely different.
Yeah, if the graduation doesn't beat,
you probably still be
rocking
bootcut jeans.
It wasn't a massacre. It was Curtis. It was definitely Curtis.
Yeah, we still be rocking bootcut jeans.
Yeah, if Curtis beats Graduation, the whole trajectory of life is different for all of us.
That's a fact.
So I think we gotta pinpoint it back there. But when Graduation was still out, the shit was still hot.
Graduation.
You couldn't turn away from Graduation. You couldn't turn away from that. So Yeezus is where shit went left for me. And then I was like, I gotta watch this nigga. And then the next decade after that, shit has proven me correct.
All right, Dante, where do you think he started to lose it? When is it for you?
I think I'm gonna have to agree with it was I think Life for Pablo was when he completely lost his mind. Completely, like everything made no sense and he had no longer control of what he was thinking. I think he was piggybacking off of whatever was hot and whatever people told him. Because when you think about original, his storytelling, his little puns, it was like the joke that if you was black, you got it because you knew exactly what he was talking about. When it just got to Yeezus, it got weird because I love the production because those heavy 808s are now the reason why rap sounds the way it sounds now. Yeah. But the shit he was rapping has zero significance at all. And it was all about Kim. It was all about, like, I don't know. I just feel like he got so deep into the PR version of himself of building an image of who he was. Then in the past, when he was just who he was. This nigga was crazy. That was it. Once I started seeing when Ye came out and they started, how the fuck you do a PR rollout for mental health, bro? Like, how do you do that? That's so weird. That's so weird.
That's not even the worst part. Like, this nigga, as of late, this nigga got into the Joel Osteen business, nigga. He was trapping out the evangelical churches and shit, bro. Like, so The nigga came, and then fucking Floyd Flakes crook ass let the nigga into the hood, and he was at Allen, and I'm like, yo. But I mean, that's enough. I mean, the religions are different. We can have a 4-hour pod on the crux of how religion be fucking shit up. But nigga, he was trapping out church, and then he was selling fucking mental health, and then once the gear started coming out, I can ramble on the Kanye nigga for a minute because like.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, bro. We can have an hour conversation on this shit. We really
the first when the clothes started dropping, bro. I'm like, all right. You know, he went from Nike, and you're like, damn. Everybody wanted those fucking Yeezys out of Nike. I forgot which one is the all red shits, the Red Octobers, bro.
Red October joints.
Bro. That was the plateau of life. Like niggas get the fucking Red Octobers, you was up.
Coolest nigga.
Then the nigga started tweaking, bro. And then he started putting out the gear. And you know, I'm not a fashion nigga. I wear the same uniform every day. I got on a hat, probably some sweats if I'm getting fancy and snazzy. And he got on a quality t-shirt and some fucking G-Star or some nudie. I'm a really simple nigga.
Real Queens nigga shit.
I'm a real simple nigga. I got a fucking varsity jacket somewhere, whether it's a St. John's jacket, a Knicks jacket, or the fucking 700 bubble of North Face. Niggas know what I'm rocking when I pull up. There's nobody that gonna be like, that nigga ain't turn your head, but it's clean. So I figured, you know, that the fashion stuff was beyond me. I couldn't see the future, right? Yeah. So I left it to you creative niggas. But then niggas started pulling out the fashion shows with the t-shirts with the holes in it. Like it looked like hobo wear, hobo couture. Niggas started dropping kicks that I don't even know where you could wear these kicks. Because it's like the jeans are too skinny for these kicks.
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you, man. Like I really do miss that era. I really do miss that.
Yeah, you keep it a buck.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like once he stopped caring about music, when he started caring about just things outside of music.
Nah, yo, Dante,
I don't want to be that guy to say shut up and make music because that's like the worst thing. Because you know that's some shit that.
But not Dante. You're absolutely correct because that's what my problem is. We really talk about this nigga Kanye. It's just like, son. Out of all the Kanye projects, I can't listen to College Dropout. I literally can't listen to it. And College Dropout is a masterpiece. I'm not talking about the actual music on there. But like you talk about, when you talk about the substance on that album, when you talk about the things that you thought made Kanye or what he sold himself to the public as being, when we talk about all the things, bro, it's a completely different nigga. And you see where his music is taking him today. It's just like, bro, his persona and what he gave us on those first couple albums, that's why I can't listen to the music no more, bro. Because this is like, son, it's one of the wildest long cons. Because I legitimately like the rapping thing was one thing, and we always knew Kanye was like never this you know supreme rapper and lyricist. He got away on a lot of charisma and personality in his music that you just related to, honestly. But bro, when you just, like I said, we get back to the substance of this man, it's just like, bro, where did that guy go? Or was it just completely, was it Consequence? Was it GLC? Was it Ron Fest? Was it all those guys?
All right, so that's a big thing that no one knows, that you're saying something that's real true. His main ghostwriters, bro, were like GLC, Ron Fest, what was the name with the teeth? Raz?
Consequence.
Yeah, all these people, when you hear their cadence, it's Ye plug and playing their cadence with the words. That's how it's always been.
But even for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, when it was that nigga Saha, like even then it was like, yo, we can still get it done. Like he got rid of like Saha's pen was still floating on that shit. A lot of Pusher too, but we won't admit it. But
so different, yeah.
Yeah, but like a lot of that was going on. But like you said, like Sean saying, like we're not getting back to that substance. Like back when they thought pink polos would hurt the rock. Like, nah, we're not getting there. Like it's never coming back.
I think because he spoke his truth so much that he ran out of shit, and I'm not giving him excuse because he definitely could make shit. He's a creative nigga. He could have definitely continued it, but I think he just got lazy, bro. I think he got to the point that like the niggas was doing his work so much he lost how to do his work. Because then production wise, Travis came. Travis started doing all the production. So once you got Travis coming doing all the production, and Ye's known for the production primarily, then shit just starts to go left because nigga has no more control of who he is anymore. Because you got everybody else piecing together who he think he is.
You know, and like you said, if we want to really pinpoint it, there's a couple of moments in history where I think he showed his signs of being flabby and washed up. You know, we talking like Jordan on the Wizard status, but like particularly like, you know, history will never. And there's some good music on Life of Pablo, so it's just like the project as a whole is probably like it falls closer to a miss, but there's some really good music on there. But I just feel like history will never shine brightly on that album when we think about that. He really was like out here trying to sell to the people like Diet Future. Like I can never forgive Kanye for the designer shit. And
Yeah,
to make it even worse, this is like, bro, Future was right there. Future probably could have sauced up those songs even more. Bro. That and All Day. Those are probably a couple times. All Day, I've said this before, but All Day is like the first song, and you can hear All Day. I mean, it's a Kendrick reference track basically, and you can hear like the radio in that song for Kanye. And that was the first time, because whenever he would drop a new single for a new project or whatever, the sound would always be different. It would always be something else. He'd always be tapping into a different lyrical like instrumentation, all type of sounds, but. Yeah, man, this nigga Kanye. So yeah, all Day and Designer is just like, that's when we could put the coffin in that dude, man. It's over.
Yeah, that was the nastiest part. I mean, but that's also the music game in a nutshell, right there. Like what you just said, like Future was right there, but he said, "Let me get Designer." It's all about a price tag, bro. If you don't want to pay for Future, he's gonna find a kid from Brooklyn who got that one hit, and then give him a shitty deal, and that kid's not gonna ever be good again. Look what's that other kid name? That one, Vince. Was it Vince? Vic Mensa.
Vince Staples.
Vic Mensa got signed. He thought he was up next. He got the rock sign on his neck. Got South Side. He thought he was the next coming of.
Everybody
Kanye.
wanted to be good music too.
Everybody wanted to be good music. So back then he was using that leverage, like, yo, come to good music, and then he just fucking everybody over. Look at Big Sean. Big Sean didn't have a good album because of Ye, and because of himself. Ye, I mean. Big Sean in like 80 million different relationships. He can never focus on music.
Yo, nobody rap good music harder than Big Sean too.
And that's the thing I was getting fucked the most.
Son, what did he tweet? I know Big Sean tweeted some shit about like I forgot what it was. Kanye was talking about messed up contracts, and then Big Sean was just like, bro, you got me in a fucked up contract right here. Like, please, dog.
All those, yo, why do you think like I got one point when Cudi was going through that mental health shit? Like, all these niggas were going through it because Ye had them signed up to some fucked up deals, and that's a whole nother thing of its own, because good music signed to a whole nother shit right over that. So it's just like, once you sign to a nigga that signed to a whole nother group, you out of
Raz, we was talking about seeing your idols get washed as we get older, and this is one of the more humbling things that can happen to you, especially like, you know, we talk about, and particularly when we talk about not idolizing these celebrities, because yeah, man, they're all waste men and terrible people, not that smart. You know, like the things that you need to get famous, you know, it's not really things that make you great people. But Raz, when we think about a idea of you know, your childhood idols becoming washed, like what comes to your mind, bro, as an example for that?
I mean, first and foremost, that nigga Jay-Z laid me off. So I mean,
home don't hit the same. So sometimes I tell dudes, I'm like, bro,
yeah.
dudes is trying to like, oh, that joint with Nipsey. I'm like, bro, get that shit off my timeline. Like,
nah, I mean, it was fire. It was fire, but like,
it's not the point. I'm like, bro, this man is just a venture capitalist that gives us a couple 16 verse bars every year. That's all he got for the people. So that's it.
That nigga, he laid me off, you know. So I was. I was on. I've been boycotting. I haven't worn this hat in probably like a year, dog. Like that's just like it's just out of control. But I mean, yeah, your idols get wild. I mean, look. I mean, I had to deal with Melo out the league for 2 years. Like they was telling me he was done. Hove laid me off. I'm trying to think what else happened in the terms of like my childhood idols like screwing me over. I mean, that's about it, realistically. I mean, but everybody got to fall, right? You know, like you get to the top of the totem pole to realize your idols was assholes. Like that's a lyric that's always stuck out to me. So it's just like, I mean, at some point you're gonna like, once you start pulling back the curtain, or you in the factory and you see how the sausage is made, like you start to see like these niggas is human, right? Like they're not idols, right? So like I'm getting mad at shit. I'm getting mad at this nigga for shit that I would have done, but like but like he's supposed to be better than me. Like nah, these niggas is idols, bro. Like I don't like he laid people off so he could get this bottom line right. Yep. As a business person, you understand that, right? It just sucks. It has to be you. Melo's old and washed. Like that's what they was telling me, right? I can't jump as high as I once used to. So like it's just one of those things, where it's like, yo, we're critiquing these idols over human shit. And I think once you stop idolizing these niggas, I think that's the difference. Yeah. Like once you start looking at them as just talented humans instead of idols and gods, you start to look at things a lot different.
Yeah, that's 100% true. That makes a lot of sense because that ties into, like we said, and everybody. I mean, I'm not
niggas in a position.
I'm not gonna shame anybody, but there's a lot of people that I can see they're falling off already, but they're human. So
I mean, call them out. Call them out.
I'm gonna say the boy. I'm gonna say the boy. The boy is definitely falling off because.
Oh damn! This nigga got spicy. I don't even want to.
I wouldn't do that. But
I mean, if I said it, I'd be a hater. So I mean, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna.
Because I was knowing you guys Raz since I was like 14, his number one fan. Like up until a certain point when I realized.
You see, you real for that. You see?
I was like, it's not hitting anymore. Like plus because I've grown into a man and an artist. So then when I become a man and an artist of my own and start to hear what other men say, then I'm like, wait a minute, nigga, I would never say that. Just like how you like you would be at a like growing up, you see how a dude got a girl, you'd be like, nigga, I would never do that. Go out of my lengths to get a girl like that. That's how I think about it. And the parallel to making music or the things people say in music, I'd be like, bro, that's like weird. And just how the dominance lyrically was there. Now it's more feature heavy, now it's a playlist. Curated for, everybody enjoy everybody else except for me, even though you're the artist that's supposed to be appreciated the most. I don't know. The last 3 projects didn't do nothing for me either. So I'm like, all right, he's on his way out. But
I'll say a lot
of money. It's different.
I'll say on that because I'll say KOD I didn't like, right? So I'm very candid about KOD. Like I didn't like the album. There was songs on it. Don't get me wrong. Like he could still rap. But like from a project standpoint, KOD didn't do it, right? 2014 Forest Hills Drive, like that's a good album. Like from a fan standpoint, like if you're like a real diehard fan of Cole, like you'll fuck with that album. So I think his thing is he's never put out albums for commercial success, right? Man. Like so, like Born Sinner, like obviously we think about Born Sinner. Born Sinner is his best project. But his best album, Friday Night Lights is his best project.
Yeah.
Like the warm up and all that. Like, but I think what happens with a lot of this stuff is that we get so caught up in nostalgia, right? So we get caught up in nostalgia. Like, so hearing a new Cole album right now, you're not gonna get the same feeling you got when you first heard Friday Night Lights because you're not that person anymore.
Literally impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's like you can't do it. So like. If you niggas is listening, if you listening to the music expecting to feel how you felt when you heard Friday Night Lights, you're never going to get that high. So that's the way I've had to like with all these artists, like you have to start looking at it differently because it's like they're not that person anymore. You're not that person anymore. You can't expect Friday Night Lights to be his next 7 projects. So like the issue with Born Sinner, like with Silent Story was that he was holding a lot of that music. Because he wanted to put it out.
We did not have J. Cole discography breakdown on the rundown, Raz. And here we are. We done talk.
But here we are.
We done talk about this nigga's entire discography.
No, but I'm just saying, like he was holding a lot of those tracks. He was holding a lot of those tracks, so that shit aged poorly. Born Sinner, that was fresh.
While we're here, actually, because it does tie in perfectly to what we're going into. We talk about that era specifically. That blog era and guys that came up from like what would you I would describe it, what was it, like 08 to like 2014?
It might be 07 to 2013 is probably where I put 13, it.
So we got it. Let's go. This is what we on right now as we get out of here in a minute. But we got 3 mixtapes during that blog era. You taking a road trip for the weekend, you could only bump three mixtapes from that blog era to hold you down for that whole weekend. What tapes are y'all going with?
I'm gonna go. Yo, we talking about nostalgia. Rad's gonna agree with me because we definitely had chips when we had basketball. Mixtape About Nothing is definitely one of them. Because I mean, if you go back to that right now, still, it's weird.
It still hit. It's still. I still bang. Yeah, that's a strong.
Wait, is it Mixtape About Nothing or More About Nothing?
I fuck with them both.
Which one?
They're not the blue one.
More About Nothing is the one that came out after, so that's like summer 2010 or some shit like that.
I'll say, yeah, Mixtape About Nothing's white with the white background. I'll say More About Nothing then.
Yeah, that's the one with
Friends and Strangers one. That's the
yeah. That
was a good one. I'll say Comeback Season is definitely another one for me because that was
which one?
Comeback Season.
Okay, yeah.
And shit, I could say Sean, but I actually go back to Sean's music. I can't listen to Big Sean's music at all now. I say Kith from Cleveland, like Kid Cudi. I was bumping early Kid Cudi, so those are the three. Those were the top three rappers back then in Blog era. So I'll say Cudi, but notable mention Friday Night Lights because that was one of the greatest projects I've heard. Yeah.
What about you, Greg? Top three mixtapes from Blog era for a weekend.
Yeah, off rip, I gotta apologize for my.
You got that
fucked up.
Nigga, move to a great place.
I'm fucking tuning in from a potato right now, nigga.
The Dumbo and still getting
Wi-Fi. I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say the NYC link Wi-Fi.
Bro,
the Jersey
Smokey Robinson hit. LeBron Flocka James too.
Ooh, you're a monster. Essentially, a different area.
Listen, man.
That's a classic tape, bro. It's a classic tape, bro.
Nigga, Coke Wave 2. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Anything like that.
Yeah, y'all niggas like the monstrosities.
That's crazy.
That's good. Terrace.
I mean, I just can't believe this nigga moved out and not pinching pennies on the Wi-Fi. This is incredible.
Fix your music, Greg. Fix your music, bro.
Yo, man.
Yo, Kith up the salary, bro.
Yeah, that's
Ronnie, please, bro. Yo.
Nah, I think for me, I only can pick three.
Yeah, three.
I only pick three. So I'll go Cold Corner 2.
Ooh, wow. New York got that tattooed on them.
Yeah, that's right.
Cold Corner 2. Fuck.
That's tough.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to decide which J. Cole album, which one I'm gonna take. Is either the warm up or Friday Night Lights, and that's splitting hairs.
That's like.
I'll go Friday Night Lights for the fuck of it. Because that's like freshman year of college, so a lot was going on. And then my third one, so I'm at Cold Corner 2. I got Friday Night Lights. Probably Section 80, honestly.
Wow, I totally
that's not a bad one.
I might go Section 80, and then I feel like I've covered off a lot. I got some conscious bars, some street dirty bars, fucking bitches bars, and it's a mix of both on the Kendrick album. So
yeah, bi-coastal.
Nah. All right, so I think for my three, I definitely gotta go.
Freddie Gibbs, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah, that Pusha T Fear of God gotta be on my list. That's a wild tape.
That's
wow.
That's
that tape,
my
bro.
God on it and all that shit.
To this day, that tape is still remarkable.
Is Raid on that?
Is that the
yes.
Oh my god.
That's a good one.
That's an insane tape. That's an insane tape.
Yeah.
Insane tape. Also have to go 2 Chainz True Religion. Come on, that tape.
Yo. That was a change, yo. That summer,
Come
I was
on.
going nuts to that shit, bro.
That's a moment in time. That's you really had to be there for that tape. That really is when shit started to change for the industry, bro. Like that's when, yeah, man. Take me back to that era. Great era in time. All right, my third one. This one's a little more wild. I think I wanted to go one of the Wayne tapes, to be honest, because those tapes still, like, if you just going off like, was it? Yeah, I think No Ceilings is blog era, bro.
Probably the one. That's the one.
Yeah, No Ceilings is blog era, and yeah, bro. Like I remember when that Let's Do It drop, but nah, Greg, for that Flocka Durant joint, you that's a great selection. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's a great selection. I'm not even gonna hold you, man. Raz, you got any other random shit we need to address when we get out of here, bro? I don't know what's been going on in the timeline. We ain't been.
I mean, the timeline's been chaos right now. I mean, other than Texas really, building their houses out of paper mache, shout out to them. I don't want to joke on them.
Probably got listeners in Texas. Y'all hold it down out there.
The good people
They
in
just
Texas.
X'd out right when he said that shit.
Nah, their connection probably on Greg shit. If we being real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that niggas is not listening to this episode, bro. Like, niggas.
Right.
I mean, there's one thing. I mean, obviously, that Meek Kobe bar is something that's really.
Hold on. All right, hold on. While we there, I mean, Greg, you probably a great person to have that, because I mean, Meek just is what he is, but it's just like, I've always felt like the idea of Meek has always surpassed the actual product of Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? Like, he represented the real gutter street bars, and I'm saying he didn't give us like some joints you could ride to, man. But like, you could tell Meek reads with his hands. Like, you could tell he just be following the words on the sentence when he read it, bro. Like,
bro, that one photo of him with his legs crossed by the pool with the French fries, that cursed image let me know enough of what type of man he is, bro. I gotta say, bro. You got niggas with crisscross applesauce in the pool with fries on your lap. Like,
with the fries, bro, with the medium joints. Oh my god.
Yo, but I mean, to address the bar, because I had this argument in one of my group chats today, right? Because you got to understand, it's probably too soon.
Niggas love Meek Mill.
No, fuck the Meek Mill part about it.
Oh,
it's the Kobe part about it, right? So rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. We'll start there.
Oh.
But his fans are awful people. So what I'll say is, once that Meek bar hit, he was never ever going to be able to get that one pass, just because of the type of fans that Kobe has, right? So one, it's in poor taste. Cool. It's probably too soon. Sure.
Definitely too soon, bro.
But
the fucking anniversary of that shit is coming up. We're only a couple weeks out from there, bro.
No, it was in January.
I'm thinking that in like the funeral. Like, it's all all together. Yeah.
So what we gotta understand, though, let's be fair. Niggas is like, how could he say that? That's one of the worst rap bars I've ever heard. No, it's not. It's not. I can name
the worst MMG bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can name about 75 bars off the top of my head that was way worse. Like, and Biggie got about 15 of them. Don't you know my nigga Gutter fucking kidnap kids, fuck them in their ass and throw them over the bridge?
Yeah, like, that one's outrageous. Like, the rest of the part is Meek thought that joint was fire. Like, he was in the that tells you everything you need to know about the Dream Chasers. Like, this man, like, he was in the booth. Somebody said that shit. Somebody heard it and was like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one, bro. That's the one thing, bro.
Going down on my chopper like Kobe. So I get what he's doing there, right? But you can't do it. Like, you can't. You gotta leave that in the drafts, bro. You can't drop that. You can't drop that ball, bro.
Man, that shit. So that shit is outrageous.
Going down by chopper like Kobe, that literally makes that's the worst sentence.
Like, I get it, you going out shooting, but that nigga didn't go out shooting, and one is just
it's such a wild line. The more I think about it, it's even crazier.
But it's
reading
wild.
it is one thing, but I think hearing it, like, it really just made it like 5 times worse in my head.
It's awful. It's awful. I don't ever want to hear the song, but again, it is not even top 20, and like you said, it's not even the worst MMG bar.
Yeah,
Molly and her champagne, she ain't even know it.
Yeah, she didn't even know it, man.
I hit my target. I hit my target like Trayvon. Like what? Why would you say that?
Yo, we're also
And
got
then-
a couple. There's some beat the pussy up like Emmett Till is yo.
Oh my god.
Yo, that's one of the that's one of the worst shit. I don't think Wayne. Yeah,
Rodney King beat it like a cop. Like
Yo,
we could have left that one out. Like,
Wayne getting pardoned by Trump was so obvious the whole time, if being real. Like it was literally right in front of us. Like that man was not that bright.
And then I think the one last thing I mean we need to discuss was seeing
man.
that we're talking about the past. MySpace was a great place. And we'll never be able to get the feeling of MySpace back. You go, you post your top song, you let the people in your life know where they stand with the top 8 or 16.
It's real transparency.
Yeah, like MySpace was the perfect platform, and we did it dirty, man. I want to say that.
Yeah, man. Tom wasn't out here moving like Mark Zuckerberg, bro. We know that for a fact. But I do think this could wrap us up for the day. So yeah, man. Like I said, shout out to the boy Dante. Shout out to the boy Greg for hopping on with us. Whatever y'all got, y'all like to share with the people. Tell them where they can follow you. Whatever y'all got in the works and all that. Greg, we can start with you. Plug everything you need to plug, my guy.
Yo, you can follow me on Betty's on everything. BETT.
You might have to spell it. Okay, go ahead.
IES 2_. My Wi-Fi cooked, but I don't know, man. I'm sorry, man. This shit is fucked up.
Yo, bro. Nah,
you got Spectrum?
No Wi-Fi bars and vibes. Don't worry. Dante, plug your shit, my G.
Yo, you can find me on everything. Don't hate Dante. DONTH8 DONTAE. He dropped 2 coming. Probably like within a week or 2. We got the Saved book coming too, man. You can talk about the book, Greg. We got the book coming. We dropping a book. Soon.
You're dropping a book?
Yeah, we dropping a book soon. So y'all see the roll out when I come out. But yeah, I'm dropping the next color of hats and shit soon. New merch soon. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot coming on. There it is. Little sneak peek.
I mean, what type of book is this though? For the people.
It's a big ass mood board basically.
Because y'all niggas can't read.
You know niggas can't read.
Yeah, that's why it's a photo book. Literally because of that, it's a photo book. There's mad images of contextual things in a moment of moods and shit that we started 2-3 years ago, and we realized it started getting big. A lot of people just posting it on their story. And we was like, all right,
some real coffee book table aesthetics going on. Yeah. Niggas definitely need that for that top. Raz, go ahead, plug everything you need to plug, my guy.
I mean, listen, man, I'm still on the clock. I'm slaving right now. I mean, we doing big things over at Hennessy US, so we'll leave it at that. But I mean, other than that, it's Draft Season Podcast. You know where to find us. Please subscribe, like us, 5 stars. If you give us 4 stars, like Bomani Jones said, I'm inclined to think you are a hater. We will be rolling out a lot of content coming up this month. I mean, the NFL draft is ticking down, so please be on the lookout for all of the scouting stuff that we about to bring to y'all. But we had to take time to just talk some shit with some hometown heroes, and that's what we had to do today. Sean, anything for him?
Fuck Virgil, we out of here.